Welcome back to The Rush. I'm Sean Bennett. This week we bring you football against Rochester, volleyball at Lanphier, golf at Piper Glen, and cross-country results. We also bring you tennis, soccer, and swimming, along with the top 3 and weekly debate. Let's get started. Last Friday night, the Titans football team played a very tough game against the Rochester Rockets at Rocket Booster Stadium. Let's take a look at that highlight right now. As I said, the Glenwood Titans and the Rochester Rockets. Titans heading into this game at 2-1 and the Rockets at 3-0 at home. Perfect record so far. The Titans were saying they're going to war, and it was a war atmosphere as we see the Titans fans very excited to head into this game. The Rockets had an amazing first drive with Ziegler on fire as we see him handing it off to Evan Sembel as he goes down around the 20-yard line. Good yardage as Ziegler throws deep down the field to Jeremy Bivens as he scores the Rockets their first 6 points. The next Rockets drive, Ziegler keep the passing game as he puts a strong pass to Eric Yeagle as he drives into the end zone for another Rocket touchdown. Great effort as he dives right in. Layton trying to pull the Titans back together as he throws to Aaron Merrifield. Quick bullet to him. He tries to go around them. He gets the Titans going with some good yardage. Layton Merrifield again as he goes up the middle for some decent yards, but is pulled down early around the 30-yard line. He's trying to get the truck stick going on, but he's taken down there. Next play, Layton brings back the passing game to Drake Bondo as he brings it in to put the Rockets. But the Rockets force a fumble, and Brent Summer will recover. So let's see how the Rockets will do with Ziegler. Once again, he throws a long ball down to Colin Stallworth. He steps out around the 5, and that will lead to another touchdown by the Rockets as we go into the second quarter. Not much action in the second, but a very important and very crucial first down as Ziegler puts it in Mazzini's hands as he gets the first, and seconds left in the second as Ziegler hands it off to Simbel for another Rocket touchdown. Time for the second half. The Titans pick it up in the second half as Layton hands off to Talley. He will just run and run and run down the sideline. He gets the Titans going. He gets taken down, but the Titans weren't able to get any points or convert, that is, as the Rochester defense was just crazy. Ziegler ends the game there with another long ball down to Stallworth as the Rockets head to 4-0 the conference. Glenwood 0, Rochester 42, Tally with 145 yards, and Ziegler 20 for 27 with 4 touchdown passes. The team plays at home tonight against the Lanphier Lions with the kickoff at 7 o'clock. The Lady Titans volleyball team played at Lanphier on Tuesday, coming from behind late in the first set. Let's go ahead and check it out right now. The Glenwood Titans versus the Lanphier Lions, some volleyball action. First time reviewing volleyball. Hopefully I don't mess it up too much. Sammy Long tips it over the net here as Sierra James with the attempt to save it. She won't get it. Kiana Bolden on the serve. Very strong hand. Sadie Stone will then set it up to Sammy Long right here. And then Emma Sides with a big smash. But Kelsey Fitzgerald on Lanphier will recover it. Then Amari Smith will finish off the point. Adeni Lade will have an easy tap over here. Lade has made 50 kills this whole season. Sammy Long will barely get it over the net as we see here after the serve, but then Sadie Stone will have an amazing block to give Glenwood the go-ahead point. Kennedy Sheedy will pop the ball up to Sammy Long, who then gives the ball to Sadie Stone, who will try to get the kill but did not put enough power on it to leaves Kiana Bolden to tap it over and give Lanphier the point this time. Last play with Sammy Long will get yet another easy tap and give Glenwood the point and overall the win of the whole thing. Glenwood 20-25. They lost their first one 25-19, 25-16. They did pretty well. Hodgson with 2 aces and a Denny with 3 blocks. The girls play the Eisenhower tournament tomorrow starting at 9 a.m. The girls golf team played at Piper Glen on Tuesday. Let's go ahead and see how they did right now. So the golf team, the Titans were off to Piper Glen in this week's golf tournament. Ariel Telger started the course teeing off for the Titans. She would finish off overall with a score of 44. She's able to make a smooth chip right there onto the greens, following up with a 2-foot putt. On to the next holes, not quite. She will have an other go-ahead teen off there. Strong girl, surprisingly. She'll tee off again. Moving on to her teammate. Not quite. She'll put it in. Almost. She has an attempt, or a birdie that is. I really don't know the golf terms, but there she goes. She'll sink it right there. Bear with me. First time reviewing golf. I don't really know it that well. But let's go ahead and go to the next holes with Metzger. Brooke Metzger, that is. Her drive would help the Titans a ton, but not as much as her putting. She would come up short in her putts and still finish with a score of 46. Or 44, that is. Who ended up 2 strokes behind Teller. Brooke did, that is. Metzger was able to land several drives in the fairway, though, throughout the course. Metzger misses a 15-foot putt, just barely, though. She would tap it in to finish with a final of 46. And she breezed right through that with a score of 46 as we go into the scoreboard. SHGR rivals finishing at first, 171, and we see us at fourth, 208 points. While the girls played at Piper, the boys team teed off by Panther Creek in the matchup against Springfield and SHG. Let's go ahead and check out their individual scores. As I said, the boys from Carter Wilkie, the football player, 36, Garrett Brennan 38, Eli Day 39, Kyle Scott 42, Ben Trask 47, and Brennan Barnhart at 48 points. The boys head to Lincoln Greens for the Sangamon County Tournament tomorrow at 11 a.m., while the girls go to Lick Creek for the Pekin Lady Dragon Classic. This past Saturday, the boys and cross-country teams ran at the Peoria Notre Dame Invite. Let's see how they placed. The P&D boys right here, Landon Skelly 1530 at 39th. 2 of our own right here, Michael Rogers is 1622, 144th place. Paul Giganti is 1646, 195th place. And John Durr, 205th place with a time of 1649. And Jack Carnduff at 7th with 1718, 255th place. Tomorrow, the runners will be headed to Lincoln Park to run against Springfield. Also, last Saturday, the girls' tennis team hosted the Titans Tennis Invite. Let's take a look at those results right now. So I said the tennis girls playing, hopefully they'll get the playing up, and we don't have the results quite yet, but let's go ahead and move on. Right here on Monday, your Lady Titans will face the Rochester Rockets in Rochester at 4:15. Now, it's time for our first commercial break of the show, but stay tuned. We'll have lots more coverage of your Glenwood sports coming up. Stay tuned.
Fat Willie's in Chatham is a great family restaurant that supplies a wonderful dining experience. We offer outstanding fried chicken and over-the-top Wall-I-Am pizza. With quality products at affordable prices, Fat Willie's is the way to go. Open Monday through Saturday, 12 a.m. to midnight. Call us today at 217-483-6969.
Aaron, you're all set.
Great, thanks.
Mike, thanks for doing that discount double check. You saved us hundreds.
What was that?
The discount double check? It's when we comb through your policies to make sure that you're getting all the discounts you deserve.
No, I get that part, but you guys are doing my move.
The discount double check move?
It's my touchdown dance.
So you're a dancer?
No, I'm a quarterback.
Oh, quarterback.
More.
I'm a robot.
Get
Get out of here.
Get to a better state, State Farm.
Call Steve Bedford in Chatham for personal service and discounts that you deserve.
Kids, the breakfast is ready. Eat up. Your friend's gonna be here pretty soon.
I'll be there in a second.
Have a great day.
My friend's here, I'm leaving.
Be safe. Come home right after school.
Alright, see ya.
Wow, your dads are really looking out for you.
That's not my dad. That's my family's financial advisor, Mr. Sullivan.
Sullivan Financial, looking out for your investments and your family.
Welcome back to The Rush. Last Thursday, the boys soccer team played a tough game against O'Fallon, and then on Tuesday, they played Lanphier. Senior Nick Bolin joined us now. Nick, thanks for coming on, man.
Thank you for having me.
No problem. Let's go ahead and see how you guys did against O'Fallon. You know, the Panthers, tough matchup, definitely. Let's go ahead and see the highlight right now. As I said, the Glenwood Titans versus the O'Fallon Panthers. That is number 3, Dan Hold. We saw him a lot last week. Let's see what he can do. Has the first strike with an attempt right here, but the goalkeeper gets a nice save as he jumps up in the air. But Dan Hold with the corner kick as Seth Fink gets it in for the first Titan goal. Nick, how did it feel to get first blood, man?
It was really big for our team, especially coming off the Rochester game. We definitely needed the confidence boost. And that goal right there was Seth. He scored with a header, and that's really big for our team. Being able to win the ball out of the air is definitely something that we pride ourselves on, and the coaches definitely work with us on practice a lot on being able to win balls out of the air. And so getting that goal is really big for our team.
Definitely. Walters, he gets hit pretty hard. He gets taken out. You know, HB3, the returning striker, he has an attempt. Henry again has another attempt, but it's blocked by the goalkeeper. Once again, O'Fallon getting some action here as they have a shot attempt, but Clark is able to get his hands on it. And Devin Compton with a long shot, a little to the right, but the Titans, they just kept trucking through this game. O'Fallon gets a shot off, and it's past Clark, and a second time past Clark. Nick, how did it feel having them get that goal? And overall, it won the game for them.
Yeah, it was very tough. Going into halftime, we had a 2-0 lead, which we felt pretty confident, and I think that might have been our biggest problem. We were a little bit too confident, and I feel like we let up a little bit. And what we need to work on more, I think, is playing the entire game 100%, not letting off no matter what the score is. We got to play as hard as we can throughout the entire game, and we've definitely been working on that a lot in practice, and yeah, we've gotten that corrected.
You guys finished off with 3-2. Rademacher had 1 goal, and so did Seth. You know, you guys were saying you need to truck through and keep going. You guys definitely did that against Lanphier. Let's go ahead and see how you guys did. 9 points. 9-0. Henry with 2 goals, and Nick, you had 2 goals as well of your own. You know, when you guys went into that Lanphier game, do you think you had competition heading into it, like any at all?
I mean, yeah, you have to go in every single game prepared to fight and play your hardest, no matter what team it is. They have some talented players. They have one kid in the middle who's very skilled, and anytime you have a dangerous player like that, I mean, anything can happen. It's soccer. Right. So you have to go in prepared, ready to fight, and that's what we did, and we came out on top.
For sure. You guys got 9 points against them.
Yeah.
And last question before you leave. You're doing great. How does it feel to initially score a goal?
It's very fulfilling, especially soccer's different from a lot of sports. Goals don't come very often, right. So when you score one, it's very satisfying, and there's no feeling like it.
You have any dances that you do or anything? Put your shirt against your face?
You know, I wish. Coach Leip's not a big fan of big celebrations,
right.
But I mean, I would definitely whip out the dance moves if I could.
You know what? Let's see if your pride does. Nick, thanks for joining us, man.
Thank you.
The soccer team is at home this afternoon and tomorrow for the Titan Invite. On Monday, the girls' swim team competed against Jacksonville Route Catholic High School. Let's dive on into that highlight. As I said, the swim team. The swimming highlight, starting with the 200 freestyle, senior Sarah Helm keeps herself far in the front of the pack as she finishes first with a time of 2:05.44, and Brooke Bauer in second with a 2.24.83. Sophomore Allie Moulton will also place in third. Here for the 50-yard freestyle, it's ended up for very close races. Zoe Kelm, Yana Meadows, and Martha Morana are neck and neck. Zoe Kelm wins it with 30.01. Next in the 100 butterfly, the 2 Glenwood swimmers get off to an early lead, and Ashley Smith wins with 1.24.13, and Ashley Ruski finishes in second. As I said, she finishes second with 1.33.47 in the 100 freestyle. Morgan Hurley, the freshman, comes in first with 1:05.18, with Brooke Bauer and Yana Meadows coming in behind her. And in the 100 breaststroke, Morgan Hurley isn't back. She comes in first again with a time of 1:18.96, and Grace Hamrick, another freshman, comes in second. Glenwood, 140 points, they finished in first. Jacksonville, 44 points, they finished in second. This afternoon, the girls are back at the Eisenhower Swimming and Diving against Southeast and Macomb at 4 o'clock. Now the Rush will take its last break of the day. When we return, it's the top 3 with Mason Byers, and the debate is back with Channel1450.com's Zach Herford. Stay right there. Come on.
Well, Mr. Raji, we could save you hundreds by doing the discount double check.
Not you too, Raji. You're on my team. You know that's my move.
The discount double check?
That's my touchdown dance, man.
Here we go again. Sir, you're not even doing it right. Raji, drop it.
You think so? All right.
That's your first real time doing it?
What is this?
First time by myself.
Where you going, buddy? Come on back.
Get to a better state. State
No, yeah.
Call Steve Bedford in Chatham for personal service and discounts that you deserve.
Ultimate confidence.
Okay.
Say it with the ultimate confidence.
Fat Willie's in Chatham is a great family restaurant that supplies a wonderful dining experience. We offer outstanding fried chicken and over-the-top Walayan pizza. With quality products at affordable prices, Fat Willie's is the way to go. Open Monday through Saturday, 12 a.m. to midnight. Call us today at 217-483-6969.
Kids, the breakfast is ready. Eat up. Your friend's gonna be here pretty soon.
I'll be there in a second.
Have a great day.
My friend's here, I'm leaving.
Be safe. Come home right after school.
Alright, see ya.
Wow, your dads are really looking out for you.
That's not my dad. That's my family's financial advisor, Mr. Sullivan.
Sullivan Financial, looking out for your investments and your family.
Welcome back to The Rush. I'm Mason Byers. Let's start the countdown with play number 3 this week as we head to the football game in Rochester. As senior Josh Talley finds the hole and just passes through the defenders and makes a great run to about the 30-yard line before he gets pushed out of bounds. And now let's head on over to play number 2 as we head to the Lanphier game for your Layton Titans volleyball. As they lost the first set, the Titans surged back and won the second. And here is senior Sammy Long is able to set it perfectly over the net for the win. And we head on to play number 1 as Blake Danhold crosses it in the soccer game against O'Fallon to Seth Fink, who heads it in, giving the Titans the advantage in the air game and also putting them up 2-3. Now it's time for the weekly debate with Sean.
Thank you, Mason. Good top 3. Very good 3. Zach Kirker, or Ace Kirker.
What's up, Ralph? Have you ever seen, have you ever read Lord of the Flies?
I'm pretty sure we texted about that. Yeah,
you have read it.
Yeah.
You remind me of Ralphie.
I don't see it.
You don't?
No.
I think I was talking to everybody else behind the cameras a little bit ago, and they all said, as soon as I said that you remind me of Ralphie from Lord of the Flies, they're all like, that's it. That's who Sean reminds me of. So I think if you see him in the hallways, I think that he actually prefers to go by Ralph sometimes.
Right.
Over Sean.
Well, you know, something that rhymes with Ralph is Alf, and Mrs. Kaler says I look like Alf or Alfie. Do you know what Alfie or Alf?
No, I remember Alf. Yeah.
You see it? Like she said the hair and the swoop. And
yeah, you got a little bit of thing. Yeah, you kind of look like an alien. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So either Ralphie or Alfie. I like it. Both.
You know what? Let's just head into the debate. Let's go ahead and talk about some football. Not really the NFL or anything, but fantasy.
Okay. Well, that's kind of NFL.
Yeah.
I mean, technically, it's
correct.
Fantasy football about the NFL.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
So, Kirk, are you playing fantasy this year?
Yeah. I have 2 fantasy teams.
Why 2?
Because it's hard for me to care very much about both of them. So if I had any more than that, I would just like my team would be awful.
Right.
Yeah. So it's about the right number for me to be able to care about that many teams.
You know, I only have one. So, you know, how's your team overall doing? Like, who are you in a league with and everything? You with Bo's speaker?
No, I'm not. I actually have a strict rule about fantasy football, and it's the theory goes nobody gives a crap about your football team, your fantasy football team.
I give a crap about it.
I know, but you don't. See, the thing is that we all want to tell everybody about our fantasy football team. That, oh man, Julio Jones had a huge game last night, and I've got Aaron Rodgers. He's really struggling, and why is Aaron Rodgers struggling? And you know what everybody else is thinking? They're just thinking about their fantasy football team.
Right.
And you know why?
It's because it's theirs.
Nobody gives a crap about your fantasy football team. And so I appreciate that you asked, but something tells me deep down, if you're being totally honest with me, do you give a crap about my fantasy football team?
Let's move on. No.
What exactly?
You know, when it's in the aspect of caring about other people's fantasy team, I don't think so, because you're trying to focus on who's going to do well in your team.
Right.
And, you know, my dad has Adrian Peterson and Aaron Rodgers and Matt Ryan. And
see, I already don't care about his fantasy football team.
See, that's what it is. But the thing is, I kind of do, because we have a bet going on.
Well, that's...
So
I think you can care about other teams in your league.
Right.
You need to know about them, but you're not in my league.
So you don't care about
your fantasy football team.
But you know
your dad's not in my league.
Right.
So I don't care about your dad's fantasy.
But my dad's in my league.
So you care about it.
Right.
So you're trying to tell me about that.
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay, proceed.
Well, we have this little bet going on, a $20 bet.
Okay.
So, you know, hopefully.
Big spender, huh?
Yeah, 20 is a lot of money.
Okay. No, it is.
For a senior
that'll take you to Qdoba like 3 times. And Qdoba is a proud sponsor of Channel1450.com.
Yeah, but this is the rush.
Yeah, no, I know.
But
I'm bringing it in.
Right. You know what? Speaking of the $20, that's kind of hard to pull in for me, even though I do have $20. I don't have a job currently, but I have an interview tonight.
You do? Where you have an interview at?
Chuck E. Cheese.
Man, this is going to be awesome television for whoever gets to watch this. You're gonna what job are you applying for at Chuck E. Cheese?
Well, I applied for everyone.
Like a dishwasher?
No.
You want to be like the coin guy?
I want to be the guy who dresses up in the mouse. I want to be Chucky.
I think those are robots.
Really?
Oh wait, okay.
No,
the mouse himself.
Yeah, you put the suit on.
You want to be that guy.
Yeah,
you aspire to be that guy.
Someone says I look like him.
I don't think there will be much competition for you in that job. Nah, I
so
don't think
do I
anybody else wants to do that.
Do I even have to wear the suit?
I would not wear the suit. It's probably gonna be warm under there.
I thought it like smelled really bad.
It probably will.
Probably will.
Yeah,
Probably smell like throw up or something like that.
I would imagine that. You know what? Right.
But hopefully I get that job.
Yeah, hopefully.
Hopefully.
Because and then you get to be the Chuck E. Cheese mouse. In a puke-smelling costume.
You know what? Let's move on.
This is a good debate. I like how this is going so far.
We're gonna go for a while too.
Okay, good. They're going like this in the back. I don't know what that. I guess that means.
I guess like stretch it out. Stretch it out. Keep going.
Okay.
You know, because look at the time. It's 2:41.
We have 2:41 left. What time do we have to go till?
Probably like 2:50.
Oh man, we do have some time to fill.
You ready for this like 10-minute debate?
Let's get into it. I'm ready.
Well, even though we already kind of debated. All right. Well, let's speak about. We kind of discussed this on the last debate. We didn't really get it too much because we only had like a 3-minute debate, but we can discuss it now.
Okay.
NFL players.
Right.
Adrian Peterson, Ray Rice, and I forgot the other one. There's one that had some controversy against him. I think it's Jets player. Don't quote me on that, but definitely Ray Rice.
You did your research before today, didn't you?
Definitely. But I
you're prepared for this debate.
I'm so prepared. Look at all these notes.
Gotcha. Jonathan Dwyer was another one of the guys. He was.
I think that's what I was talking about.
The Arizona Cardinals.
That's who I was talking about.
Okay.
You know, and that guy from Florida State.
Yeah, Jameis Winston.
Yep, Jameis Winston. A bunch of football controversies going on. Not really controversy because it's already out there.
Yeah.
Ray Rice definitely, and Adrian Peterson, one of the bigger ones.
Yeah.
Adrian Peterson with the charge against his child, and Ray Rice against his wife. Do you think it puts a bad image against the team overall?
Yeah, I mean, an awful image. You know, people always say when a company fires someone or suspends someone for what they say or what they do, like for instance, I think back to like the Duck Dynasty situation where they talked about gay marriage and religion and stuff, and you can't fire someone for what they say about this or that. Well, you can. You can fire someone for what they say. You can fire someone for what they do, because you're running an organization and a company, and your job for that company is to try and make sure that it has the best opportunity to be successful. And if someone does something that is detrimental towards that effort, you can fire somebody for that. There's not your freedom of speech only extends so far to you and your personal freedoms. It doesn't extend to your job.
Right.
So we're talking about an opinion over here on my example, but then we're talking about specific instances where these guys have done something and it appears and they're innocent until proven guilty in the court of law. And Ray Rice is never even going to go in front of a jury
because he is guilty. It has a video proof.
Well, but the whole situation, they never charged him with it. I mean, there's really some nastiness around the whole thing, but yeah, it puts an awful image on those organizations, and I think what they've done is smart. They've suspended them with pay, which means, listen, we're going to not let you play for us until all the facts come out. We figure out how this thing all works out. Ray Rice got cut because that video came out. Adrian Peterson, you see Jonathan Dwyer, they're getting put on the commissioner's list. That means they're suspended. They're getting paid, but they're not out there representing this team while we're still finding out the details of this stuff. And that's because the teams know that it's a bad look for them.
It's definitely bad for the team overall, the commissioner, but say the fans, the Vikings fans, Baltimore fans.
Right.
I'm not a fan of either of those teams, but it still puts a burden on every single one of those fans. My grandpa is a big Vikings fan, and I bet he's so devastated that one of the best.
Well, who are you a fan of?
I'm a Green Bay Packers fan.
Okay, so if you found out that Aaron Rodgers did this and had punched his girlfriend or wife, and I mean, would you still root for him? Would you still be able to cheer for him? Would you still want to root for the Green Bay Packers if he was playing for them?
That's honestly a really hard question, because it's kind of like you're betraying that image. Almost, if you're wearing that big green and gold sign, you're portraying that Aaron Rodgers hit his wife.
Sure.
And it seems like you're kind of a supporter of what he did.
Right.
You know what? I honestly don't know.
Yeah.
Even though I'm a big fan of the Packers, and hopefully that never happens, but I don't know.
The NFL has been on this meteoric rise to where it's become so popular, and there is all this fantasy, and there's day-to-day fantasy leagues, and there's you pick 'em leagues where you're trying to figure all that out, but it may have reached a boiling point where these things are finally, the NFL may have reached its peak and may be on the downside.
Right. Well, Kirker, Ace, let's end it on that note.
You bet, Ralph.
All right. That's it for this week's episode of The Rush. The football team plays Lanphier tonight at 7 o'clock. The girls swim team is at Eisenhower at 4, and the boys soccer team hosts the Titan Invite Soccer continues tomorrow, along with girls and boys golf. Cross country in Lincoln Park, and volleyball at Eisenhower. Come out to support your Glenwood Titans. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time. Let's bring out back a little Danny. We gone.